Let's make fantastic traditional recipe to show you using bush okra. So I'm going to add some water into this pot. Very little water that I'll be using to steam the okra. Something you must know about this, or something I found out about this bush okra, is that it's been in my house for like 3 weeks. It has the capacity to last far longer than the normal okra. So the only thing is that as it stays in the house, it gets stronger. So probably when you get the fresh one, you will just grate and you're good to go. So but I'm going to use my grandmother style of cooking okra that is strong for this bush okra now. I'm going to cut it open, quickly steam it, bring it out and pound it with a little bit of onions. Just like I said, it's oxidizing so quickly, but you can see the viscosity. The viscosity is really like cool. I don't even know if I should add Ogbono to this, because you can see it's actually drawing very well. I'm not sure I want to even add Ogbono to this again. Maybe little Ogbono, see. So while I'm allowing it steam to soften before I pound, I'll quickly melt my Ogbono. So I'll be using about 2 cooking spoons of oil. I'll just allow it heat up a bit. You are not bleaching the oil, you are just heating it up, and add about 3 tablespoons of Ogbono to it. Let's make it 4 so that the soup will be plenty. That is fine. I'll turn the heat off. Okay, so I'll send it to a plate. Set my pot back, add the meat stock, add the beef, add a little bit of water to cook the soup. Then I'll begin to prep the other things. So I'll add my crayfish and stockfish pieces, clean it with some salt. Oh, you have to be very careful with that dry tentacles. They could pierce your hands. So I'm going to go add this to my soup now. So I'll add the crayfish and the stockfish to cook. So what I'll do now is just to cut my pomo. I know I told you I was going to pound it, but I just realized that my mortar is not in this kitchen. We actually took it to somewhere to do something. So I just added my pomo now, which I sliced in tiny bits. So I'm going to use food processor for this okra right now. I wanted to use the mortar, but now I need to work on the okra. It's cooked, so I'm going to turn it off. Before I start processing the bush okra, I'll add my crayfish and pepper. I'll now process this. Okay, so this is where I actually want to stop it. I still have some chunks of it in it, but I just want to leave it like that. Probably it will melt completely in the soup. Okay, so this one is good. It's time for me to add my Ogbono. So this is my smoked fish. I'm going to clean the smoked fish now. So you remove the bones and clean the guts. This is smoked mackerel. Okay, so I'll be dropping it in the pot of Ogbono. The Ogbono looks really good. So I'm going to add the bush okra now. It's quite viscous. Now this looks really good. Okay, you can cook it alone, no, like I said, but the recipe that was given to me by my sister, she said add Ogbono. But from the draw of this thing, you can actually cook it on its own. So this looks good. So I'll be adding 2 seasoning cubes. And this looks really good. Adding a little bit of salt for a balance. Ladies and gentlemen, because I already steamed this okra and Ogbono has cooked for a while, I just need it to cook for another 3 minutes and soup go done. Now, what swallow are we using today? I came across fonio, acha fonio. I have not tried it before, so I'll be trying it for the first time. Maybe I'll say I'm trying the things I've not tried before on this episode. I'll be using fonio, acha. People in the north, they actually are very used to acha, but this is my first time, so I'm using the powdered one to make swallow. I always say one of the safest ways to make any swallow that you have not eaten before is to start from cold to hot. So from cold, you already remove all the lumps in case if it's a flour that can quickly develop lumps. So you already remove all the lumps. Then as it's getting hot, it begins to thicken till it forms the dough or the mold consistency that you want. So that's the style I have used for my acha now. Our acha looks good. It has come together already, forming that dough. And I can tell you that from what I'm making, this acha has very little starch in it. Our acha is ready. It's also known as fonio. So I'm going to eat it with my bush okra soup. Food done, guys. It's been a beautiful day here today in the studio. I don't have guests now. I still want to eat my food. All right, let's go and eat. Today is a food adventure. This bush okra is my first time. I may have eaten it before as a child, but I just cannot remember it because my sister sent it to me. So it's probably something I have eaten before. And now I have just checked my phone, Foodies and Spice on Facebook. A lot of people have something to say about this bush okra. So you should go there. We will not be gisting today here. We'll go and gist there. Go and look for the bush okra post and let's gist there. Now, so many people, like 70% to 80%, have never seen bush okra. Some, they know it, and the Yoruba people here call it ila oko. That's what I've been seeing here. Recurrent, everybody saying ila oko. So if you know ila oko, that is what we cooked today. So go check it out on youtube.com/GinaEhikodi or /Foodies and Spice. Then facebook.com/Foodies and Spice. All right? Fantastic. And I'm eating it with acha. This is my first time of eating acha in any way, fonio. And this is the first time of us cooking it in the Foodies and Spice studio. And I can tell you, acha is good. To hear more about acha, still go to my social media handles because that's where we are gisting today. Okay? The stockfish. The smoked fish, very important. For sponsorship and stand booking for the Foodaholic Festival, please contact the WhatsApp numbers below.